Listen is key though. Listen is actually part of a broader model that we employ. You heard me mention an example of employee voice. One of the biggest challenges we see, our lowest scoring areas in employee surveys, is around employee listening. And if we do the stats behind that, Matt already mentioned that one of the biggest statistical drivers of engagement is that item, I feel like I belong here. If we look at correlations to that, some of the connections to that are, do I feel like I have a voice? Do I feel like senior leadership listens to me? Do I feel cared for? A lot of that comes back to if I feel heard, if I feel like it's safe to speak up, and that the organization is listening and responding. And so that's a lot of where our most meaningful work comes from at DecisionWise, is we help facilitate that listening, but there's through technology and behaviors and things like that, but there's a cultural identity that needs to evolve as well. We use a simple model: listen, understand, and act. Listen, observe the experience you're creating, assess the gap, understand, assess the gap from ideal. So we have models and things, some of which we've peppered throughout here, but understand what that experience means. How far off are we from the right experience? And then to take some action, some meaningful action to improve that area. Very simple. And we use this when we're working with individuals as well as organizations. When I'm talking to an executive about their organization, we're talking about listen, understand, act. If we're talking to an individual about their 360 feedback and coaching them, it's, hey, let's listen and understand what experience you're creating for people, and is it the right experience? And let's design some steps to help get a few steps closer to that correct experience. If you can take only one thing away, this is the item I would hope that people walk out of this room with, is this question, this self-coaching question. Again, apply it to you, apply it to your team, apply it to the organization. But it's very simple. The fundamental question, oh, big dramatic build. Oh, there it is. What experience am I creating right now? What experience am I creating right now? Do this midstream in a conversation when you're talking to someone. What experience am I creating right now? And if you would spoil me with remembering two things, then a follow-up question is, and is it the right experience? Or am I okay with it? Sometimes we'll coach people and they'll say, I know I'm perceived as volatile and blah, 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 and I'm okay with it. Great, as long as you're okay with it and you're okay with the trade-offs and the negative side effects, that's great. But we want self-awareness so you can at least choose and be deliberate in those experiences you're creating. Something like this has been life-changing for my own approach, as well as many other individuals and organizations that we've worked with. But keep in mind the experience and recognize that you have a choice in creating a more deliberate and more intentional and more ideal experience for your teams, your organizations, and for your customers.